Hey guys, welcome back to day 2 with my client horse. And I actually get to film tomorrow too, so that'll be day 3. Hopefully, if I remember my tripod. So here I'm just entering the pen and he gets a little nervous and runs around, which kind of makes me think that the trainers before him just put him in the round pen to run because he has a really hard time settling down. But I whistle a few times and he kind of remembers that it's me and comes up to me. So here I'm just starting off with desensitizing. He actually drags me today because we introduce a new desensitizing object, so make sure you stick around for that. And then there's a surprise at the end that I did not think he would do with me on day 2 with 2 days off. So he gets a little worried with the whip. He's really sensitive, I would say. Like, we even try flexing later on in this video, and I normally would bump on a horse. Like right there, he kind of stuck his face in mine, so I just put my hand up, blocked him. Normally I'd bump on a horse when I'm flexing them, but I feel like if I do with him, it would just be too much for him at this point in time. So here we're just asking for a soft backup. Here I'm asking to yield the hindquarters. He's very, very good at that. Hindquarters this way. Really nice there. Lowering head. Sorry for the position of the camera, guys. We do move it 3 times, but it's what we have, so sorry about that. So here I'm just kind of free lunging him or round pinning him, letting him get some of that energy out before I expect too much out of him because he has had 2 days off. Now you can see there, when he doesn't give me his face, I just keep up the pressure. And when he gives me his face, I take off the pressure. Like I said, he's had 2 days off, he's fresh, he's kind of wanting to go. So I'm just letting him go. And when I ask him to change, if he gives me his butt, I'm going to add more pressure until he gives me his face. I absolutely love this horse, and if I could buy him, I so would. He's a really beautiful mover, and he picks up on things super quick and needs a reminder here and there, which what young horse doesn't. You can see there, he kind of gets confused, but he automatically kind of corrects himself in that situation when he kind of realizes he's not supposed to give me his butt. Tomorrow we're doing tarps and bags, so make sure you stay around for that video, because I'm sure I'll get dragged there. Love that turn in there, didn't have to correct him too much. Love this here, how you can see he's got his inside ear in a beautiful turn, and he's paying attention to me there. Absolutely love that. Right there too, he just needed a little encouragement to kind of move out. But I absolutely love his kind of choppy fast trot, and I hope I get to ride him either this month or sometime next year. So again, we just did a lot of this, and there's a lot more coming. It's not just this, so stick around because this video isn't just round pinning. But I did kind of want to show you where we left off in the last video to where we are starting off on our 2nd session. So there, he got a little stuck. I was able to whistle to him and have him kind of step into me a little bit, kind of teaching him to go into a whistle. Here he's on the lead line, and I'm just trying to get him to canter and stop. We're working a lot on stops because his thing is dragging, going this direction at the canter and when we're lunging. So we're in the round pen, kind of just going back to basics and making sure I have control of his hips and can get him to stop. And I think we'll wait another session or 2 before we try to go back into the big arena and lunge him, because I want him more in tune to me. And as you see through this video, he gets very, very in tune to me and gets a little sticky and doesn't want to go. And I'd rather have that than him bolting. I love that stop right there. I'm just having to yield his butt out a little bit more, kind of getting the point across that that butt needs to be out. But I'm not actually having to spank him. I don't think I've had to spank him with the whip at all. Like, I haven't had to spank his butt to make him go. It normally just takes a few taps on the ground, so I would say he's very sensitive to pressure. And, oh my gosh, this horse is a love bug. I don't know how many breaks I took just going in and loving on this horse. So asking to send here, you can see he gets a little sticky. I had to lightly tap him with the end of the whip, but I don't mean like lightly, kind of like a fly. And that's all it took to get him to go. And now the reason that's doing it is he's getting comfortable with me and he's asking questions. So he's kind of like racing up to me and stopping. He's asking a question. Can we stop? Saying, no, just continue on. Let's go. He's not doing it to be naughty, and I would much rather prefer him to be a little bit sticky than
I love how he slowed down, though. I do too. I love this. You could do this all day. No, I mean because he's calm. Right? I love it. I like what I see today.
So here we're working on head down, lowering his head. He carries a lot of tension in his head. You can tell by how high-headed he always is. And so it's really good to go and practice that when he's out of breath. Kind of teach him it's okay to lower your head, I'm not going to hurt you. So here I'm bringing in the flag, and I love how curious he is about it. And he's kind of like, oh, what do you got there? And licking and chewing. So here I kind of just surprised him a little bit. But once he figured out it was on his face, he actually really kind of liked it rubbing on his face. We're desensitizing here, and I'm making sure to touch him all over for the next part that we're going to do here in a second. And I could kind of feel he was holding something in. That's kind of why I kept up the pressure a little bit, to see kind of how far I could push. I just need to know my limits with him before I ever step up onto him. And I kind of figured he was going to blow up some. And here's where he starts dragging me and blowing up. Now, it doesn't look like it, but he was dragging me around hard. I was hanging on for dear life. There's a couple times I accidentally let the rope slide a little bit. It was just trying to hang on to this big horse. He's so big compared to me. And I love there that he was able to stop and automatically cock his leg and lick and chew and realize I'm not hurting him. Here, I'm just kind of practicing putting the flag back and forth on both sides. Some horses really don't like that eye switch. You can tell he really doesn't, so that's something I'm going to be doing a lot of before I ever go to get on him. So here, we're just kind of taking the rope and throwing him around his legs. And you can see he doesn't like it. He actually gets a little worried and starts moving and get kind of tucking his butt. So I'm really happy I actually tried to do this with him, because when I do it with the whip, he doesn't react. But it wasn't too big of a reaction. It was just kind of like, what are you doing back there? Here we're working on the beginning of flexing, and I'm not going to bore you with all of it because I think it took like 20 minutes to get him to flex, and not even all the way. But here's kind of like what it looks like in the beginning. I'm kind of standing arced out and just holding pressure till he stops moving. The reason I'm arced out is, one, I'm so short, I can't reach to put my arm and wrap it around his back. And two, I don't know this horse that well. This is only my second session with him, so I don't really want to hug up against him in case he goes to kick. This way I can kind of, I'm already up by the front shoulder, and I can kind of jump back if he goes to kick and correct him if I need to. So I'm just kind of hanging on. Not really asking him to bend. I'm more than looking for him to stand still right here. So he goes to stand still, then he starts fidgeting again. So I just hold, and there I was waiting. He finally stood still. I was just waiting for a little give, and he gave it to me. Same exact thing this side. I love how cocked his leg is. It's always cocked when we're stopping, and that means he's getting really comfortable and trusting with me, and he's not terrified of me. So again, I'm just holding, just pretty much waiting for him to stand still. And a little bit of a give. There he gave, so I released. Now here, you can see how soft he is, but he actually kind of moves away. But if you see, he's hanging, so he's calm and relaxed. His head's going down. And barely having to pick up, and he's starting to understand. Now he's taken a step or two here and there, but that's fine. That'll come with time. So here I'm going back, desensitizing to the whip. You can see he's a little tight, a little high-headed. I'm just going to kind of ignore that and go about my day. Asking him to send off back here. He's getting a little stuck, having to kind of make some noise with that whip. And the reason I kind of go back and forth is because she's mainly going to be doing this on the line. So I need to make sure I can do it on the line and off the line and have some good stops. So we're working on stops. I'm kind of saying whoa and getting him to stop and turn his butt. I love this. He actually calmed down and walked. It takes a lot for this horse to actually calm himself down and walk. That's why I think previous trainers that he's had have probably just put him in the round pen and worked him, which is why I do Liberty in my round pens. I do treatments, treats, everything in my round pens so that they're comfortable in there. Right there was kind of the first time asking him to change directions while moving. I kind of want to work him up on purpose just to make sure I can shut him down in case he gets a little out of hand when we first go back out into the big arena. So I kind of work him up on purpose a little bit here just to make sure I have that control, because if I don't have that control, then we need to kind of go back and redo what we did on session 1 and work on stopping more and yielding that hindquarters more. But as you can see, I have some pretty good control right there. So I'm very happy with that. So here, it's taking a little bit to get him to canter. Beautiful change right there. Beautiful change right here. And he's getting worked up, but I'm able to kind of stand still, say whoa, and he stops. Love that turn. So pretty. And right there, he follows my body language and stops. Oh boy. Oh.